Is there a dead deer on the counter?
He knocks on the door and he says, do you want this in your house? And I looked at him like he was crazy, like, what doesn't my husband bring in the house? Would it matter?
Of course it would have. Well, looks like it got dropped off.
I'm certain there's probably 100 other dead things in the house that I don't even know about.
We can have dinner next to it like a chandelier.
Yeah, there you
go. Alright, well there it is. Game warden brought it by yesterday with the paperwork for it. It's kind of a sad deal. It's a young buck that had some great potential. Look at them beams, and his fourth's really good. Would have been really cool if he'd lived a couple more years. Still a good buck. I've had a lot of people ask me some questions about the deadhead and asking if, you know, why we can't pick them up and take them. In other states I know you can. In Arizona I think you can. In some states you can, in some you can't. In Utah you can't. The reason why they don't let you pick up deadheads is because they think the temptation to go out and just shoot an animal, wait a month or so till it decays a little bit, or wait 3 months and then go out and bring it home and say it was a lion kill or a winter kill or something like that. They think that's what will happen, and it probably would to some extent occur. I don't know. Probably people that are going to poach are going to poach anyway, and there's a chance that happens. So that's why they don't let you. So the process to be able to get the deadhead, whether it's an elk or a deer or something like that, number one, I have a pretty good relationship with our officer here, with both of them, and they know me and I know them, and they're good guys, and they understand. Thankfully, they're good guys and understand that if they have a working relationship with the public, their job's a lot easier. If we are willing to help them because, you know, we can get something out of it occasionally, we're more likely to be helpful. And you know, if every time I found a deadhead, it went to some big pile of antlers that the DWR sold at the end of the year, I'd stop turning in deadheads. And the result of that is, if I do come across one that is, you know, possibly poached and it's the evidence they need to be able to solve a crime or something like that, well, they don't find out about it because I have no incentive to turn it in, because I'm not going to have any chance of getting it. So it works out good that, you know, as long as there's nothing there that looks off or looks suspicious, then they have no reason to suspect that this buck was anything other than just a winter kill or a lion kill. And so for that reason, there's no reason to hold it for evidence or anything like that. So he was nice enough to go out and look at the scenery and determine that it was just a winter kill or lion kill. And so he brought it to my house for me. A couple things that I had to do to make that happen is, one, like I said, the game warden knows me. He knows I'm not out poaching deer. I didn't mess with the site around it at all. I didn't even pick this one up or remove it. So it makes it easy for him to determine that it was, you know, it's been there for a while. I sent him the GPS location. I called him first and told him that I'd found a deadhead and that I was sending him pictures and the GPS location. So I sent him the GPS location. I sent him pictures of both the kill site and the area, and then I described the area to him. And then when he gets the time, sometimes I've had it take 2 or 3 weeks for them to be able to find the time to go out into some more remote areas to pick up deadheads. This one, it took him a couple of days to be able to have time to go out there. And on bigger animals, you know, there's always the worry that somebody else is going to go out there and find it. But this one's been on the ground for, I would say, 2 years. And even though it was right off a road, nobody's stumbled out there and looked at it or seen it. or if they did, they didn't care to do anything about it, so it was still there. So the chances of it still being there are pretty good. I have on a couple of occasions been clear out in the middle of nowhere and found dead heads where there's just no chance. On one occasion I didn't have my pack that had the GPS in it, so I couldn't even mark it, and there was nothing I could do about it, which is sad. But anyway, several people have asked questions about it, and that's why you can't pick them up, and that's how you go about getting them. And at least in our area for southern Utah, I would say that probably, I know of probably at least 20 deadheads that have been located. A lot of them mine, or Denise and Carrie found 3 or 4 just last year. And all of them, or nearly all of them, I only know of a couple cases where the person that turned in the deadhead did not end up with the animal. One of them, there was a bullet hole in the nose of the animal. And so it obviously looked like a poaching situation. Unfortunately, it was a really big buck. It was a 200-inch buck. And so the person didn't get to keep it, even though they weren't the one that poached it. It remains evidence in case they ever do turn up any evidence of a crime. And just if it's obviously a poaching animal, they just simply won't turn it over. Now, I understand that in that situation, they were not able to give him that buck, and it was a big buck. But they had recovered, I believe, through some other means, a fairly good-sized bull elk. And the person was given the bull elk as sort of a consolation prize. We can't give you the deer, but I do have this if you want. If you want it, we can give it that. And they ended up with something in the end. So there have been a few instances where if there's some reason to suspect that the animal's been poached, you won't end up with it. But for the most part, I mean, this one wasn't too far off the road. Most of the places where I'm out shed hunting, people are not out there poaching. I'm 10 miles, 15 miles, 20 miles out in the middle of nowhere, and poachers just don't work that hard. So when I usually find dead animals, it's a slam dunk. It's going to be, a lion kill most of the time. Occasionally just winter kill, old age kill. And that's the proper way to deal with it. Certainly we want to try and catch people that are poaching and breaking the laws. So that's why they do that. Anyway, just a quick update. We're getting close to the 500 subscribers. I was pleasantly surprised at all the comments that have come pouring in. So there's tons of people that are getting their comments in. But still, I mean, relatively, your chances are pretty good. I'm going to be giving away the knife, and I would say there might be, if I was to guess, 75 to 100 people that have left comments. Any comment on any of the videos counts, but I would say there's probably 100, but, 1 out of 100 is a lot better than lottery odds. But and just a quick note about the knives that I'm giving away. I've had a lot of questions about, I've had people say, oh, do you buy the blanks, steel blanks from a knife supply place and put handles on them or whatever? No, these specific knives, let me see if I can, these specific knives were forged from round stock W2, and it's actually, there's a pretty cool story behind the W2, but it was 1 foot long and about 3/4 of an inch around, and I forged it, hammer and forge and anvil. That W2 is famous W2, and there's just no more of it left around. I was able to get lucky and scored a small stash of it, and I occasionally make knives at it when I want to make something clear from scratch. It's great steel. It holds a great edge, and it cuts like crazy. Some of the best high carbon steel you can get. But it's a lot more labor intensive, and it takes a lot more work. And in the end, most people don't care that it's hand forged. They're not willing to pay more for it because it's hand forged. So my other knives that are not hand forged, like this one's got some oil on it because I always oil the sheath, this Kydex, so it doesn't scratch up the knife. But anyway, so it probably looks funny. But this one, for example, is AEBL stainless. When I order this type of steel, most types of steel that I order that are not forged, I order them in 4-foot long sections that are anywhere between 1.25 inches to 4 inches wide. and then I cut them out to the shape I want, and then I shape them on my grinder. So they're all 100% from scratch, both, and you know, like this desert ironwood and some of this stuff. Sometimes I'll, you know, buy a block of wood and I'll cut it down on the ones that don't need to be. Now these ones are stabilized woods. This one's actually dyed and stabilized. This one is just stabilized. These are Buckeye burls, which are some of my favorite ones to do. But like, you know, like even this guard here, this was a piece of brass stock. This one has actually a Damascus guard on it from a little bit of Damascus I had left from a knife that I made. And so, you know, just to answer that question, all the knives are 100% made from scratch. Just something that I like to do, and I don't make a ton of knives. I make maybe, I would say I make between 15 and 25 knives a year. But I like to make them, so if anybody has any interest, like I said, William Arthur's Knives, you can see pictures of them and more pictures of the process. And if you want to order one, you can do it there. I'm certainly not doing the contest to get you to do that, but I do like to make people aware that's another thing that I do, and sometimes I'll throw out some videos because knife making is kind of cool. Anyway, there's some updates. I'm hoping to get out on Friday, and I was scouting out an area today on the way home from work that looks like it might be pretty good for some sheds. So I got a spot picked out, and I'm going to go see if I can't do... I have 4 knives that I'm working on that have to be finished by Saturday, so I won't be able to do like a full day, but I'll probably be able to do 6 or 8 hours of shed hunting. I'm hoping to do some good and be able to put this video on with some shed, so it's not just an at-home update, and be able to get a new video posted. And hopefully within the next week or so, we'll hit that 500 subscriber mark and find out who gets the knife. All right. Alrighty, well, I came back out here, got Devin with me. I think it might be one of his first shed hunts, but we decided to come out and get some traps back in the ground. Got a couple of storms possibly coming through in the next few days, and we found some good spots. I should have videoed some of that because anyway, maybe I'll put a couple more sets in and get that on video. But we got out and started walking here, and I wasn't really feeling it. There was a bunch of boot tracks and vehicle tracks off here to this side, so I just called them and told them let's loop back to the truck and switch spots. And I hit this bench right here, and I was like, well, I better walk this bench out first. And sure enough, I got an antler over here, and it looks like a pretty good one. Let's go look at it. Alright, it's pretty chalky, but it's a 4. We can't find the other side someplace. Alright, I'll let you know if I find the other side. Wait for Devin to get here. Look at this right here. Dang it. That thing would have been huge. Broken top and bottom. Too bad. Too many cows in here. Quite possibly the most random thing I've ever come across is a white high heel shoe. But hey, if you got a shed hunt, you got a shed hunt, even if you're in high heels. Alrighty, well, it's been a while. Devin found a little 2-point, and I haven't found anything in a while. Didn't bring any food, so I'm chewing some Brigham tea. But there's an antler right there. Let's check this out. It's like a big old 2-point. Let's see what it is. Yeah. Thing is just a giant 2-point. Good eye guard. Put my foot in there, you can see how big that thing is. See if we can't match that up. That'd be cool. I'll let you know. Alright, I'm looking for the other side to this big 2-point. I see an antler over here, but I don't think it's the match. Because it looks like it's kind of old. This one's a hard white. I don't know, it's a big 2-point too though. Ah, it's an old chalker, it can't be it. But not as big, but it's a bigger 2-point. Wonder if that guy came by and dropped 5 years before. Alright, keep looking here. Just thought I'd show these. It's a set of 4 steak knives with stainless bolsters and black palm handles. Kind of cool. Just getting ready to ship these out. Alright, right there's the road. There's the truck. I just barely got in the saddle. And I am, what, 50 yards off the road, 40 yards off the road, and there's the first one. Zoe, get that one. Get that antler. This is all right. I can do it this way. Not even saddle sore yet to step down and get it. Crazy that an antler's laid here this long, this close to the road. It's a whitetail looking one. All right, it's a good start. Well, it's only been about 10 minutes and I'm still not that far from the road, but we got a hard white. Zoe, where's the other one? Go find the other antler. She's just not feeling it today. Whoa, let's step on it. All right, let's see if we can't match him up. Well, if you want to see why you always got to look behind you, I was right here and looked over my shoulder. Come on. And I almost went right past what's probably the match to that 4-point a minute ago. No, I don't know. That one's got an eye guard. This one doesn't. Let's check it out. Let's see. Without 2 hands, this is going to be tough, but it's definitely a match. If I could hold them up. Anyway, you can see same forks. That one don't have an eye guard. This one does, but it's obviously a match. Same age. Matched him up. Alrighty. We got another one. Another 3-point. Somebody thinks he's heading back. Alright. I'll get that one picked up and see if we can't find the other one in this flat. Whoa. 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 See a tine sticking up right there. There's this one. Another 3. I wonder if that's the match. Storm's starting to brew. Got Sunny all antsy. see if we can't. Oh, there's the other side. No, that's a bigger buck. How did I miss that the first time past? You know what that is? Oh, I was about to say that's the first brown of the year, but it's not. I almost missed this one because I was heading right at this thing. Sweet. Two right here to match up. If I can keep the horse under control and the dogs. Nah, that'll be fine. It's a good one. Storm's coming in. I didn't bring anything. I didn't bring my pack or anything. So I found this piece of old rusty baling wire. Starting to get a little stack here, but right around here a little bit because we got two horns laying here. So the other sides might be right here somewhere close. See, we might be getting wet here. Here's the crazy thing right there. It's the main road that I'm parked on. Maybe 80 yards off the road. I don't know if you can even hear me because of the wind. Alright, we made it back to the truck, huh, Sonny? You ready to go home? Not too bad for an hour and a half. Anyway, there's that set. Those two that I found back there at the beginning. Definitely a set. Matching front forks, matching back forks. So we got one eye guard. Young buck. There's the haul. Not bad. I haven't been out here even 2 hours. And I never got more than half a mile from the road. Well, that'll be the end of that trip. This will be the end of the video. So I went riding today in the same place that I was hiking yesterday, where I found that big 2-point. Just on the other side of the road. And I guess the lesson is I'm not that far away from town, and I was never very far away from the road, and all those antlers were chalk, and all but maybe one or two of them have been there for 2 or 3 years, some of them longer than that. Just goes to show that you don't want to overlook the obvious stuff. I know everybody knows that there's deer in this area, and there's a reason why I'm out here hunting. One, it's kind of close to where I'm trapping, but most years we have a bunch of snow on the ground right now, and this year we don't have any snow. We haven't had any snow to speak of, just a skiff here or there. And so the cows actually a lot of them never got moved to winter range. Cows are right now where they're not usually at this time of year. So for that reason, I know there's very few deer here right now in this area, and so I can come out here and shed hunt, and I haven't kicked up or seen a single deer in the 2 days I've been walking out here, and I'm being careful, and I don't want to push anything out that's in here, but I haven't seen any deer because the cows are in there. And so it gives me a place that I can hunt that's close to town, and I'm not pushing a bunch of deer around early. I don't want the deer to be moved from where they're at. Once I locate the deer and the elk, I want them to stay there till they drop their antlers. So I'm not pushing them. When I get in those areas, you know, even if I go in there scouting and looking, go in there early, I do it in the same way that I hunt. I'm watching the wind and I'm being quiet, and if I see animals, I don't go charging over there and blow them out. I want them to stay right where they're at. So just keep that in mind on this early season stuff. There's very few, if any, antlers on the ground right now. In the next week or two, they'll start dropping. Most of them will hold on for almost another month. But you can go out and find a good pocket or two if you just kind of be careful as you're out, that you're not pushing stuff around. And just, like I said, don't overlook the obvious stuff, the easy stuff, because everybody always assumes that everybody else hits it. Maybe they do, but it's worth checking. You know, in the last couple of days, I found that, you know, nothing big, but some decent bucks, and it was a couple of fun hunts. Hopefully, here in the next few weeks, we'll be getting into some browns, and it'll be exciting. I look forward to shed hunting season more than I do hunting season. That's the honest truth. I love it. I just wanted one more plug on the contest. To be able to win the contest, you just have to be a subscriber and comment on any one of the videos. I'll go through all the comments, write down the names, draw a name randomly, that person will win the knife. So if you haven't subscribed, like and subscribe the video, comment something, you know, tell me something you'd like to see or whatever. If you want to see more pictures of the knife I'm giving away, it's on William Arthur's Knives on Facebook. You can see it there. I'll go home and get this video uploaded, and hopefully I'll have a cool trapping video in the next day or two of stuff that I've been doing the last couple days trapping too. I was going to combine them all, but I decided to do the trapping in one video and this shed hunt in another one. Anyway, catch y'all later. Thanks for watching.